the phone clicked dead, but the word uninvited hung in the air like poison. I'm Maya. I'm 25 and my own family just branded me a liability, too low class for my sister's new high-roller boyfriend. I stared at the Thanksgiving gifts I'd bought them, feeling erased. I thought it was just cruel, shallow snobbery. I had no idea it was the first move in a high-stakes espionage game, and that I wasn't just uninvited, I was the target they needed to neutralize. Before I tell you exactly how I turned the tables, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. And if you've ever felt underestimated or let down by your own family, hit that like and subscribe button. Trust me, you are going to want to hear what happens next. I'm standing in my cramped apartment, the phone pressed against my ear, grease from a server rack still smudged on my knuckles. The gifts I spent weeks picking out, a rare vinyl record for Dad, a silk scarf for Mom, sit wrapped on the kitchen table, their bright paper mocking me. 3 days before Thanksgiving, and my sister Sophia's voice crackles through the line, syrupy with fake sympathy. Maya, I'm so sorry, but we're going to have to uninvite you this year. I freeze, my breath catching. Uninvite me? My voice sounds small, like it's coming from someone else. It's not personal, Sophia says, her tone sharp beneath the softness. It's just, Alex, you know, my boyfriend? He's hosting this huge dinner for his investors. It's a big deal for his company, Ether Core Dynamics. Everything has to be perfect. She pauses, and I can hear her picking her words like she's stepping through a minefield. Your job, working tech for that little defense company, it's just not the vibe we're going for. It'd be awkward, you know? For the family's future. The words hit like a slap, but it's the silence that stings more. I wait for her to take it back, to laugh and say she's kidding. She doesn't. Instead, my mom's voice cuts in, gentle but firm. Mia, you understand, right? This is bigger than just one dinner. Alex is important. We need to support Sophia. Then Dad's on the line, his baritone heavy with finality. It's for the best, Maya. We'll see you soon, okay? Maybe Christmas. The call ends and I'm left staring at the phone, my chest hollow. My family, my own blood, has just branded me a liability too low class for their shiny new world. I look at the gifts again, the ones I saved up for, the ones I thought would make them smile. Now they're just reminders of a connection I thought we had. I sink onto the couch, the hum of my apartment's ancient radiator filling the void. I'm not just uninvited, I'm erased. The next few days blur into a haze of hurt. I try to focus on work, but every email, every server hum, feels like it's mocking me. I keep replaying Sophia's words, Mom's patronizing tone, Dad's dismissal. They didn't just uninvite me, they coordinated it, like I'm some problem to be managed. I've always been the odd one out, the tech geek in a family obsessed with appearances, but this is a new kind of betrayal. I walk through my apartment, the walls lined with circuit boards and half-built drones, my sanctuary of wires and code. It's not glamorous, but it's mine. I've spent years carving out a life at Stratos Secure, a small defense contractor where I'm the one who keeps the systems running, the one who notices the details no one else does. But to them, I'm just tech for some no-name company. The words burn, and I can't shake the image of them all sitting around Sophia's polished dining table, laughing with Alex Vance, the Golden Boy CEO, while I'm here, alone. I try calling Mom the next day, hoping for something. An apology, maybe. She picks up, but her voice is distracted, like she's already halfway out the door. Maya, we're so busy with prep. Can we talk later? I hang up before I can say something I'll regret. The rejection settles deeper, a cold weight in my gut. I'm not just uninvited from dinner, I'm uninvited from their lives. Thanksgiving morning, I wake up to silence. No smell of Mom's tamales, no sound of Dad's old jazz records, just the hum of my laptop and the faint buzz of the city outside. I could have gone to a friend's, but the thought of pasting on a smile feels worse than being alone. Instead, I grab my jacket and head to Frank's repair shop, the one place where I'm not invisible. Frank's shop is a mess of wires, old monitors, and coffee cans stuffed with screws. He's my mentor, my rock, the one person who gets me. When I walk in, he's hunched over a gutted server, a slice of pizza dangling from his hand. Well, look who's here, he says, grinning. Family ditch you for some fancy pants dinner? I force a laugh, but it comes out brittle. Something like that. I tell him everything, Sophia's call, Mom and Dad's betrayal, the way they made me feel like a stain on their perfect image. Frank listens, his face darkening. When I'm done, he snorts, tossing his pizza crust into a box. Gears and code, Maya, that's honest work. Sounds like they're the ones with dirty hands. We share a greasy pizza, the kind that leaves orange stains on your fingers, and for a moment, I feel anchored. Frank doesn't care about optics, he cares about me. But as I head home that night, the loneliness creeps back. My family chose a stranger over me, and I can't unfeel that. Work is my lifeline now. Stratos Secure isn't much to look at, a gray building tucked behind a strip mall. But inside, it's my world. I'm the lead analyst on Project Icarus, a revolutionary drone engine that could change warfare. It's not just a job, it's personal. The lead engineer, Dr. Kowalski, was my mentor before he passed last year. He saw something in me, believed in me when my family didn't. Protecting his legacy feels like a debt I owe him. Monday after Thanksgiving, I'm back at my desk, staring at lines of code on my monitor. The office is quiet, most people still sluggish from the holiday. I'm running diagnostics on our firewall when I notice it, a faint blip, like a whisper in the system. A series of ghost pings from an IP address tied to a shell corporation called Nexus Holdings. It's subtle, designed to look like nothing, but I've spent years spotting patterns others miss. This isn't random noise. It's a probe, clean and professional. I flag it to my team lead Greg. He barely looks up from his coffee. Background chatter, Maya. Don't waste your time. My colleagues nod along, already distracted. But I can't let it go. It's too precise, too deliberate. I think of Dr. Kowalski, his voice in my head. Trust your instincts, Maya. The smallest glitch can bring down a system. That night, I stay late, my apartment lit only by the glow of my laptop. I start digging, tracing the pings through layers of proxies. It's tedious, like unraveling a knot, but I'm good at this. I'm patient. The pings lead to a dead end, a defunct server in Singapore, but something about it feels alive, like it's watching me back. I don't tell anyone yet. This is mine. Frank's shop becomes my second home over the next few days. He's got contacts from his old days in the tech underground, people who know how to navigate the shadier corners of the internet. Over coffee and stale donuts, he helps me bypass some of Stratos' administrative locks. Nothing illegal, just creative. You're on to something, kid, he says, his eyes glinting. Keep pulling that thread. The thread leads me deeper. Nexus Holdings is a ghost. No employees, no real address. But its funding traces back to another company, a venture capital firm called Pinnacle Ventures. I cross-reference their portfolio, and my heart stops. Pinnacle is a primary investor in EtherCore Dynamics, Alex Vance's company, Sophia's boyfriend, the man who got me uninvited from Thanksgiving. I sit back, my pulse hammering. It could be a coincidence, but my gut screams it's not. I pull up everything I can on EtherCore. Public filings, press releases, their slick website. It's all polish, no substance. Their proprietary tech is vague, a buzzword salad. I dig into their digital footprint, and that's when I find it. A hidden server, buried under layers of encryption, hosting fragments of code that looked eerily similar to Project Icarus's specs. My hands shake as I piece it together. This isn't just a probe, it's espionage, and it's personal. I don't sleep that night. My apartment is a war zone of coffee mugs and open laptops, screens glowing with data trails. I'm chasing a ghost, and it's leading me somewhere dark. I trace the server to a dark web node, using tricks Frank taught me to stay anonymous. Every click feels like a step into a minefield. But I can't stop. Dr. Kowalski's legacy is at stake, and now, so is my family's betrayal. By dawn, I've got it. Nexus Holdings isn't just funded by Pinnacle Ventures, it's a front. A shell created to mask EtherCore's real work. I pull their financials, and it's a house of cards. Fake contracts, inflated valuations, all designed to lure investors. Their tech is vaporware, a lie. But the real gut punch comes when I find a leaked email from Alex Vance himself, buried in a hacked archive. It's addressed to an unknown recipient, dated 6 months ago. Rodriguez's family is the key. Sophia's easy to charm. Maya's the weak link, isolated, undervalued. Get her out of the picture and we've got a clear shot at Icarus. My breath catches. Alex didn't just meet Sophia by chance. He targeted her. He targeted us. The Thanksgiving uninvitation wasn't about optics. It was a test, a way to isolate me, to see if my family would ditch me. They did. And now I know why. I'm not just the loser sister. I'm the key to Project Icarus's security. The one person who could spot their probe. They wanted me out of the way, emotionally broken, too distracted to notice. I sit there, staring at the screen, my hands trembling. The betrayal cuts deeper than before. My family wasn't just ashamed of me. They were pawns in a game I didn't even know I was playing. Alex used them to get to me, and I almost let him win. I don't cry. I don't scream. I just keep digging, my anger fueling me. By the next night, I've got a dossier, screenshots, server logs, financial trails. It's airtight, undeniable. I think about going to Greg, but he already dismissed me once. Stratos's bureaucracy would bury this, and Alex would slip away. I need to go bigger. I make a call to an old college friend who works at the FBI's cyber division. She listens, skeptical at first, but when I send her the dossier, her tone changes. Maya, this is huge. You're saying AetherCore is running an espionage op? I hear the click of her keyboard, the urgency in her voice. Stay put, I'm looping in my boss. Hours later, I'm in a nondescript federal building sitting across from two agents in suits. They're all business, but I can tell they're impressed. Ms. Gas Rodriguez, one says, you've just blown open a case we didn't even know we had. They lay it out. AetherCore's been on their radar, but they had no proof. My dossier changes everything. They ask me to keep quiet, to keep working like nothing's wrong. They're building a case, and I'm their linchpin. I walk out of that meeting feeling something new. Not just anger, but purpose. Alex thought he could use my family to break me. He thought wrong. I'm sitting in a dimly lit FBI surveillance van, the air thick with the hum of electronics and the faint smell of stale coffee. My laptop's open on my knees, a fake Project Icarus file glowing on the screen, a honeypot I built from scratch. It's a masterpiece of deception, packed with just enough real data to lure Alex in, but laced with trackers that'll light him up the second he bites. My heart's pounding, but my hands are steady. This is my counteroffensive, and I'm ready. The past week has been a blur of late nights and whispered meetings. After I handed over my dossier, the FBI moved fast. Agent Carter, the lead on the case, laid it out plain. AetherCore's espionage ring is bigger than just Alex. They're tied to foreign investors, maybe even state actors, all hungry for Project Icarus's tech. I'm their best shot at cracking it open. You're not just a witness, Maya, Carter said, his eyes sharp. You're our weapon. So here I am, playing dumb at work while I feed the feds every scrap of intel I can pull. My phone buzzes with texts from Sophia, all fake cheer about Alex's big deal closing soon. I reply with smiley emojis, my stomach twisting. She has no idea her golden boy's about to crash. I think of Dr. Kowalski, his voice calm and steady. Protect the system, Maya? It's bigger than you. This is for him, the sting's set for tonight. I've planted the honeypot file on a server Alex's team has been probing. The FBI's watching every move, their techs hunched over monitors in the van. I watch the data stream, my pulse syncing with the blinking cursor. Then it happens, a hit. The file's accessed. Carter leans in, his voice low. That's him. He's downloading. My screen lights up with the tracker's signal, pinging Alex's office in real time. I see the feds move on the video feed, silent and swift, storming AetherCore's sleek headquarters. Minutes later, Alex is in handcuffs, his face pale as they lead him out. I don't cheer. I don't smile. I just feel the weight lift, just a little. Back at my apartment, I collapse onto the couch, the adrenaline still buzzing in my veins. The feds call to confirm. Alex and his top lieutenants are in custody, their servers seized. My honeypot worked perfectly, exposing their whole operation. Carter tells me I've saved Project Icarus and probably a dozen other defense contracts. You're a hero, Maya, he says. I don't feel like one. I feel like a woman who just clawed her way out of a trap. But for the first time in weeks, I sleep without dreaming of betrayal. 5 days after Thanksgiving, I'm jolted awake by a frantic banging on my door. It's late, the city outside my window a blur of headlights and neon. I open the door and there they are, Mom, Dad, Sophia, standing in my hallway like ghosts. Mom's eyes are red, Dad's shoulders slumped, Sophia's pale, her designer coat wrinkled like she's been wearing it for days. The news broke this morning. AetherCore's a fraud, Alex is facing espionage charges, and the Rodriguez family's name is tangled in the mess. Their bank accounts are frozen, their country club membership gone, their perfect world in ashes. Maya! Mom starts, her voice trembling. We need your help. Sophia steps forward, her eyes wide with panic. They're saying we might be charged. Conspiracy, Maya. You have to talk to someone, tell them we didn't know. Dad just stands there, silent, his hands stuffed in his pockets. I lean against the doorframe, my arms crossed. You need me now? My voice is calm, but it's a calm born of exhaustion, not forgiveness. They don't answer, just stare at me like I'm their lifeline. The power shift is dizzying. For years, I was the afterthought, the loser daughter who didn't fit their glossy image. Now they're begging, and I'm the one holding the cards. I let them in, not because I want to, but because I need to hear it. They sit on my couch, surrounded by my circuit boards and half-built drones, looking out of place. Sophia's the first to crack. You work with those people, Maya, the FBI. You can vouch for us, right? Tell them we're innocent? Her voice is desperate, but there's an edge to it, like she's still sizing me up. I don't answer right away. I think of the Thanksgiving call, the way they discarded me without a second thought. I think of Alex's email, how he called me the weak link. They played right into his hands, and now they're here, expecting me to fix it. Why should I ask, my voice steady. You made it clear where I stand. Mom gasps, her hand flying to her chest. Mia, we're family. But it's Sophia's next words that hit like a blade. How do we know you didn't have something to do with this, Maya? She says, her eyes narrowing. Alex always talked about how smart you were. Maybe you leaked something, got mad at us, and it all went wrong. The room goes quiet. Dad shifts uncomfortably, but he doesn't defend me. Mom just looks away. That's when it hits me. The real betrayal. They don't just need me. They don't trust me. They think I'd sell out my country, my mentor's legacy, just to spite them. The hurt is so sharp it steals my breath. I don't yell. I don't cry. I just look at them, really look at them, and see strangers. Get out, I say, my voice low. Sophia starts to protest, but I cut her off. You don't get to come here and accuse me of treason, not after what you did. They leave, Mom's sobs echoing in the hallway. I lock the door and slide to the floor, my chest tight. The last thread of hope I had for them snaps, and in its place, something else takes root. A resolve, hard and unyielding, like the firewall I've built around my heart. The FBI calls me in the next day for a deposition. I sit in a sterile room, recounting every detail of my investigation. Nexus Holdings, Pinnacle Ventures, Alex's email. I keep it professional, sticking to the facts. When they ask about my family, I don't flinch. They were manipulated, I say. Unwitting associates. They didn't know what Alex was doing. It's the truth, and it's enough to keep them out of jail, but I don't sugarcoat it. I don't owe them that. Back at Stratos Secure, the mood is different. Greg, my team lead, looks at me like I'm a stranger. You went straight to the feds? He asks, half impressed, half annoyed. I just shrug. The company's grateful, though, grateful enough to hand me a fat bonus and a promotion to head of cyber defense. It's a title I never dreamed of, but it fits. I've earned it. That night, I get a call from Sophia. I let it go to voicemail. Her voice is shaky, pleading. Maya, please, we're sorry. Can we talk? I delete it without replying. The next day, Mom tries, then Dad. I don't answer. I'm done being their fallback plan. A week later, they show up at my apartment again. I'm ready this time. I meet them in the hallway, my arms crossed, my face a mask. You've got 5 minutes, I say. Sophia starts crying, but it's Mom who speaks. We didn't mean to hurt you, Misha. We were wrong. Please, let us make it right. I shake my head. You didn't hurt me because you uninvited me. You hurt me because you believed I was less. You believed I was someone you could throw away. I pause, letting the words sink in. I helped you with the feds because it was the right thing to do. But that's where it ends. You've been building a life on appearances. I've been building one on integrity. Mine's got better security. Don't call me again. This firewall's permanent. They leave without a word, their faces pale. I close the door, and for the first time, I don't feel the ache of their absence. I feel free. I sit at my kitchen table, the gifts for Mom and Dad still wrapped, untouched. I could sell them, donate them, but instead, I pack them away in a box. They're relics of a life I don't need anymore. The bonus from Stratos is enough to change things, but I don't want a fancy car or a big house. I want something real. I think of Frank, of Dr. Kowalski, of the women like me who never had a chance to shine. That's when the idea hits. I set up the Kowalski-Rodriguez grant, a scholarship for women in tech and cybersecurity. It's not just money. It's a promise, a way to build the community I always wanted. I start mentoring, meeting young women who remind me of myself. Hungry, scrappy, overlooked. They're my new family, and they don't care about optics. They care about code, about building something real. The sun's dipping low, casting a warm glow through my apartment window. I'm at my desk, surrounded by schematics and code, but my mind's on something bigger. The Kowalski-Rodriguez grant is live, and I've just sent out acceptance letters to the first 3 recipients. 3 young women with fire in their eyes and dreams bigger than their circumstances. I lean back, a smile tugging at my lips. For the first time in months, I feel like I'm building something that matters. Something that'll outlast me. Work's different now. As head of cyber defense at Stratos Secure, I'm not just the quiet analyst anymore. People listen when I talk, and not just because of the title. They know what I did, how I spotted Alex's probe, how I brought down EtherCore. Greg still gives me side-eye sometimes, but even he can't deny I've earned my place. The bonus check sits in my account, untouched except for the grant. I don't need a flashy life. I need this purpose, control, a chance to make things right. I spend my weekends at Frank's shop, mentoring my scholarship girls. There's Lena, a wiry coder from Oakland who hacks like she's got something to prove. Aisha, a mechanic's daughter with a knack for reverse engineering. And Priya, a shy genius who sees patterns in data like I do. They're raw, unpolished, but they're hungry. We sit around a battered table, swapping stories over coffee and Frank's terrible donuts. Laughing about bugs in code and the thrill of cracking a tough encryption. It's messy, real, and it feels like home. One afternoon, Lena asks me why I started the grant. I pause, my fingers tracing the edge of my mug. Because someone believed in me once, I say, thinking of Dr. Kowalski's quiet encouragement, Frank's gruff loyalty, and because I know what it's like to feel invisible. They nod, their eyes bright with understanding. In that moment, I realize I'm not just giving them money or mentorship. I'm giving them what I never had, a place to belong. The grant grows faster than I expect. Word spreads, and soon I'm getting emails from girls across the country, each one with a story like mine. Overlooked, underestimated, but ready to fight for their shot. I pour everything into it, setting up workshops, connecting them with tech contacts, even roping Frank into teaching a session on hardware hacks. He grumbles, but I catch him smiling when Aisha rebuilds a server faster than he ever could. At work, I'm tightening Stratos' defenses, building firewalls no one can crack. It's not just about code anymore. It's about trust, about protecting what matters. Every line I write feels like a brick in a wall, not to keep people out, but to keep what's good safe. I think of Alex, of how close he came to stealing everything. I think of my family, how they let him. And I keep building, line by line, day by day. Sometimes late at night, I check my phone, half expecting another desperate voicemail from Sophia or Mom. They've stopped calling, though. The silence stings, but it's a clean pain, like a wound that's finally healing. I don't hate them, I don't miss them either. I just feel done. My life's mine now, not theirs. One evening, I'm in my backyard, a small scrappy patch I've been fixing up. I've planted apple trees, their thin branches swaying in the breeze. It's not much, but it's mine, just like everything else I've built. I'm tinkering with a drone prototype when Frank calls. "Got a surprise for you," he says, his voice gruff but warm. "Check your email." I open my laptop, and there it is. An article in a tech magazine about the Kowalski-Rodriguez grant. "Local Hero Funds Future of Women in Tech," the headline reads. "They call me a trailblazer, a cybersecurity prodigy who took down an espionage ring and turned her pain into purpose." I laugh, shaking my head. I'm no hero. I'm just Maya, the girl who kept going. But as I read, something shifts. The article quotes Lena, who says the grant changed her life, gave her a chance to prove herself. Aisha talks about how she's applying to MIT because of me. Priya says she's not afraid to dream big anymore. I sit there, tears prickling my eyes, not from sadness but from something else, pride maybe, or hope. I'm not just surviving anymore, I'm building a legacy. One that's bigger than my family's betrayal, bigger than Alex's lies. It's mine, and it's real. It's a year later, and my backyard's alive with laughter. The apple trees are thriving, their leaves catching the late afternoon sun. I'm hosting a barbecue for Frank and my scholarship girls, Lena, Isha, and Priya. The air smells of charcoal and grilled peppers, and the table's a mess of half-eaten burgers and soda cans. Lena's arguing with Frank about some obscure coding language, while Aisha and Priya sketch drone designs on a napkin, their voices bright with excitement. I lean back in my chair, a beer in hand, and let the moment sink in. This is my family now, not bound by blood but by something stronger. Trust, respect, shared dreams. I catch Frank's eye and he raises his glass, a rare grin cracking his weathered face. "Not bad, kid," he says. "You built something good here." I nod, my throat tight. He's right, this is good. This is enough. Later, as the sun sets, I check my mailbox. There's a holiday card from my parents, a generic one with snowflakes and no personal note. I hold it for a moment, feeling the weight of it. There's a flicker of old sadness, the kind that used to claw at me, but it's faint now, like a signal fading out. I don't open the card. I don't need to. I set it on the bench, unopened, and turn back to the laughter, the clink of glasses, the hum of ideas. I think of Thanksgiving, of that cold, empty day a year ago. I think of Alex's email, of Sophia's accusation, of Mom and Dad's silence. They thought I was the weak link, the loser who didn't belong. But they were wrong. I was never weak. I was the one who saw the truth, who fought for it, who built something better from the ashes.